Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. First and foremost, before we get into the video, two things. Firstly, Eid Mubarak to all the Muslims that are watching. I hope all of you are having a very, very good day today. Obviously today we can eat again, we can drink, we can do everything we want to do. We've got the H2O at the ready, the energy is back, I'm alert and it feels great. But, you know, that's probably where you're going to see the extra energy coming in, just in case if you notice, I'm not going crazy. I'm just back to normal. But I wish all of your family and friends a very Eid Mubarak. I hope all of you have had a good day and you enjoy the rest of it with your friends and family. Secondly, today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app, as you can see right here. All of it in its glory, where you can get your player news, your team news, your statistics, your scheduling, your videos, highlights, any sort of content in relation to your club or any other club that you want to check in the world of football, you can find on the OneFootball app. So make sure you download the OneFootball app, link in the description, click on that link and enjoy. Now, we've got two topics to talk about today. Two things at the ready. We're going to forget what happened yesterday. Yeah, Arsenal, Chelsea, don't know what you're talking about. What game? I didn't watch a game yesterday. Did I? Did you? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, we move on. An absolute blip. Fingers crossed. All eyes on the cup final now for Saturday. But for today's video, two things we're going to discuss. Firstly, the Champions League final. Venue has been decided. It was initially meant to be taking place in Istanbul. And then there were the whole thing about Turkey being locked off and two English teams, well, might as well hold it in the UK. UEFA decided to hold talks with the British government. The UK government, in the end, decided that they were not going to waver to allow UEFA executive sponsors, media, broadcasters to come into the country without having to quarantine. That was the one issue that UEFA had, because it would mean that each person from UEFA or their sponsors or their executives would have to come into the country, but by doing so, they would need to quarantine for 10 days and pay £1,750 out of their own pockets to do so. UEFA wanted to waiver that, and the British government said no. So what UEFA have done is look for an alternative venue, and they've decided on Portugal. Porto is where the Champions League final will be hosted between Man City and Chelsea, the Stadium of Porto. We've been there before this season, so in terms of familiarity, I think we would have the advantage. But the one set of people that are not going to have the advantage are, once again, the ones that are always targeted, which are the fans. The fans, simple as that. Now, Chelsea have been given 6,000 tickets. Man City have been given 6,000 tickets. That's 12,000 in total. In Istanbul, the allocation of capacity as a whole, including the fans, was going to be 25,000 people. We don't have a word in terms of how many people are going to be in the stadium for this one. So we'll wait and see. But I'm hoping it's not going to be another case of Baku. And I'm hoping it's not going to be a case of what would have happened in Istanbul. Because it would have been 6,000 City fans, 6,000 Chelsea fans, and 13,000 executives, sponsors, UEFA people, whoever. But it's not going on general sale. So don't think it's going to the locals either. It's going to people that get a hold of a ticket. And I don't know how they're going to end up doing that, but it's definitely not the fans of each team. And that is worrying, because in Baku and in the Champions League final that year, when we had Chelsea-Arsenal in the Europa League final, we had Liverpool-Tottenham in the Champions League final, you remember the scandal that happened where both set of teams in both finals were given very small amount of tickets and the rest of the ground was just filled with executives and associates and sponsors, and it's just like, why? Now, UEFA, as I've said, haven't confirmed where the rest of the allocation is going to, so we'll wait and see. And as long as the stadium has a majority of fans from each team, that would be ideal. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be 6,000 each side. Now, in terms of those supporters, all they had to do in terms of an all-English final taking place in the UK is pay for a match ticket and pay for the travel to the ground. That's it. Now they have to pay for a plane ticket to Portugal, return, pay for their accommodation in terms of where they're going to be staying, which could cost them quite a lot, and including the flights. The flight prices are going to skyrocket, especially for airlines that have been out of business for the last 12 or 15 months. So you have to bear that in mind. People are not going to be getting tickets to Portugal on a cheap. So that is another thing. Testing as well, being tested because leaving the country and coming back in, you need to be tested. Now, I don't know what's happening in Portugal. In Italy, for example, it's free of charge. It's free of charge. So that's cool. But in terms of the UK, it can vary from £50 up until £140 to do one test. Now, can you imagine doing a test to leave and a test to come back? Or a test when you come back on arrival? I mean, what's that about? Fans are going to have to pay almost treble of what they would have done just on a normal match ticket and a bit of travel to the ground if it were in the UK. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So for those that are going to the game in Portugal, get prepared, and I hope you have money saved. It's as simple as that. Whilst UEFA don't have to pay anything. You know, they pay for a plane ticket, which they were going to do anyway to get to the final, and they don't have to quarantine. They don't need to spend £1,750 each. They don't have to do any of that. They just get into the country, go to the final, bish bash boss, leave, and it's cool. While the fans have to pay out of their own pocket. So once again, the fans are made to suffer. But that is the latest. The Champions League final will be taking place in Portugal. Any new developments we'll see when it happens and when it arises. Now, the second piece of news today is that Chelsea have revealed their home kit for next season. Now, we've all seen it. We've already discussed it. I've shown you in a couple of videos already over the last couple of months what the kit was going to look like and our thoughts on it. I was absolutely devastated when I looked at it and I thought, I can't believe we're doing this. Nike, what have you designed? What fifth dimension of hell did this kit come from? You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, now Chelsea have unveiled it, and they've unveiled it in a very, very interesting video. A video that we're going to take a look at right now. Here it is. So, the thing with the Chelsea unveiling in this video is that the shirt is meant to be 60s inspired. Now, as we can see right here, Timo Werner's pulling it out of a washing machine. And as you can see, the washing machine, the set, the piano, the colours, the style, it's all very 60s. It's very, very 60s London. I'll give them that. But the one thing that isn't 60s London in this video is the shirt itself. They're trying to justify the patterns on the shirt, the ridiculous patterns as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not a fan. Unless you haven't noticed. I'm not a fan. And by the way, shout out to Callum Hudson-Odoi in this moment where he actually looks like a DJ. If he were to tell me that he wasn't a footballer and I had to guess his career and he told me that he's a DJ, I'd believe him because he actually looks like one. But the kit just doesn't have any business having two patterns whatsoever. Why does it have a checkered flag or squares, as you can see what they're trying to show you in the video, and then zigzags on the other side? And then it's the same when it goes around the back. And then we got two little yellow strips that come like a zigzag on the side. It's abysmal. As far as I'm concerned, it's abysmal. Now, shout out to Chelsea for actually trying to make it look good with this video, because the video is fantastic. And it features men's players, it features women's players, and it features an academy player as well. So that's very, very good to see. But the way that they're trying, I mean, look at that kit. It just looks terrible. There is nothing 60s about this kit. I don't know why they try to say it's 60s inspired. You want to know what 60s inspired is? You remember the white kit of last season, the away kit with the collar? Now that's 60s inspired, because wearing a collar back in the day was a very popular thing. A skinny collar, top button, very, very popular thing. So I want to stress, I don't know why they're trying to say 60s inspired. You want to know what 60s Chelsea looked like? This is what 60s Chelsea looked like. This was Chelsea in 1964-65. This was the kit that they were wearing back in the day. Now, if Chelsea had decided to go with something similar to this, as you can see, the badge is very similar. But if Chelsea had unveiled a home kit and told Nike to come up with something very simple, blue, yeah? You can have something similar in terms of the collar that you can see here. Two white lines along the collar. Even something along the armband, if that has to be done. But keep it simple. Keep it all blue. Don't start putting funky colours on or anything. The only 60s inspired thing that it looks like with the funky designs and all of that is people that were on LSD at the time seeing all sorts of shapes. So, you know, we don't want that. You don't want that. But this would be a top kit. Can you imagine this modernised? You know, all blue, little white, modern badge, sponsor, and that's it. That would be 60s inspired. That you could end up unveiling and showing with a 60s London theme, and then show, yeah, you know, we're taking inspiration from our kits of 64, 65, 66, up to 69, even 70, which was something similar, but we changed the badge because we only had the line with a CFC underneath, like we wore in the FA Cup last season, if you remember that one. That was a 70s inspired kit, but that came immediately after this sort of kit. This would be 60s inspired. Chelsea haven't gone with that. Chelsea have decided to allow Nike to have the reins and power to design a kit which looks absolutely atrocious, and as far as I'm concerned, has nothing to do with the 60s. But fair play to Chelsea for trying. It's an attempt, at least. Anyway, personally, as you can tell, I'm not a fan. I'm not going to be buying that kit. I'm just not. I'll wait for the away one, because the away one, apparently, word on the street is that it's all yellow. It's all yellow. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not official. I can't confirm that. It is unconfirmed, but apparently that's what's going to happen. So we'll wait and see when Chelsea do unveil it. What is going to happen with this new home kit, though, is that the FA Cup final on Saturday will be the first time the players wear it. So we'll see what it looks like in the flesh, and then we can really, really make our minds up. But just in terms of the video and seeing some of the players with it, not good. Not good. But again, shout out to Chelsea for a very, very good video package with some good history there, and showing some of the men's team, some of the women's team, like we saw with Eriksson, Harder and Sam Kerr, and we had an academy product in there as well, which was nice to see too. So shout out to Chelsea Football Club for putting that video package out, although the kit for me is a joke. I'm not buying it, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you going to be buying it or not? Because as far as I'm concerned, I think we can send a statement out to Chelsea here. If we don't buy it, and they look at the sales, and they see how low it is, and they're reading it going, oh wow, this isn't good, then maybe they can take some action with Nike to up their game a little bit, because yeah, the kits that they've come up with recently, it's just not good enough, Nike. It's just not good enough. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below in terms of the Champions League final, in terms of it going to Portugal, going to Porto. Are you going to be affected? Are you travelling to the game, or are you not? Let me know what you think in the comments, and what do you think about the new home kit? What are your overall thoughts on it? And what do you think about having a similar 64-65 kit as a 60s inspired shirt rather than the one we are unveiling on the weekend? Let me know in the comments what you think. Much appreciated to all of you for watching. Thank you all so much. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded too. And don't forget to smash that like button if you've enjoyed this video. Tomorrow is your preview to the FA Cup final. We're back in an FA Cup final again, just like last season, but the only difference is this time we're trying to win it, not lose it. So hopefully we get a job done. But tomorrow's going to be the preview. Make sure you tune in. I will see all of you then. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. Look after yourself. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.